What's up, everyone? Thank you first off so much for tuning in to watch this video. I'm going to go over on how I choose brush pens and overall what I would consider a good brush pen and whatever else I talk about. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Here, I just have a few brush pens that I have already taken out. So I'm gonna go through and pull out my brush pens, one by one, and talk about them, what I like about them, and why I chose them. So first, I have a Tombow, which a lot of you are probably familiar with, or maybe not familiar with. I really forgot the name. It's like a Tombow. It's like a hard brush pen, really good for doing like script and fine detail. Type of lettering. And what I like about it, I like how it's so small. Also the nib, how it's hard, and you can be very intricate with it, or you could be really loose, and you could create so many different styles with it. Also, I love the texture of the nib of whenever you get loose and go very quick with it. Okay, now this is a brush pen that I picked up from Jet Pens a while ago. It's a Mitsubishi. Yeah, it's a Mitsubishi brush pen. And what I did was, I see on Instagram or wherever I'm at, a lot of people using certain types of brush pens. You got your common brush pens, and then you have the ones that are used not so much. So that's what I did with this Mitsubishi brush pen. And a lot of the brush pens, if you did not know, that have kanji on them or Chinese, that's what they're mainly used for. And what I really like about this brush pen, I love the ink. It's so juicy, and also how it is dual tipped. So you can get very different types of styles from it, and overall a different look and feel. I definitely recommend this brush pen. I do not remember the name of it, but it's a Mitsubishi brush pen from jetpens.com. This one is another brush pen. There's a lot of as you notice, if you haven't already, a lot of my brush pens, they have kanji on them, or Chinese. This is, I believe, like a Akasha or Acacia brush pen. It's black. I have to say, this would be one of my favorite blind buys that I've done with a brush pen. As you see, good consistency with the ink, very, very durable nib, but like any nib, it's gonna wear down over time. So this pen, definitely recommend it. Another one from jetpens.com. And let me get into one that you may or may not be familiar with, is the Ecoline brush pen, however you pronounce it. These pens are very, very good. What I like to do is I like to dip the brush pen in the Ecoline ink, and you get some very, very, very nice gradients that are natural and that are caused by just dipping the nib in the ink and doing your thing. Also, what I had learned a month or so ago is, if you have one part of this nib and it's getting worn down, you could pull this out and flip it around, and stick it back in, and you have a brand, basically a brand new marker. Just make sure to wear gloves or something. Do not get your hands covered with ink like I did. It's very, very juicy. Good ink flow. You can get a variation of line thickness, but just like with any pen, it's all up to the person using it. Okay, what is the next pen I have? This right here, also one of my favorite blind buys. I have to get a new cartridge because when I was traveling, the ink exploded from it being in my bag. I'm not trying to get covered in ink. I got this one from jetpens.com. I don't remember the name of it. Let me see if it has it on the body. And oh, it did, but the ink covered it. Okay, continuing on. These Prismacolor marker. Prismacolor brush pen. These, when I first got them, I had these probably like 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer. At first when I got them, they were good, but then as the ink started to, how it's all like dried and scratchy, I started to not like that. So I honestly neglected them for a while. And then once I started getting into other brush pen brands, I neglected them even more. But anyways, that's just me. These markers are good for beginners because the flexibility of the nib is very soft, and they're not too expensive either. Okay, what is the next one? This is the refillable. I can't even really talk about this because I need to find out what is going on in here because I think it may be damaged. So you know what, we're not even gonna talk about that one. All right, this is a Zig scroll and brush pen. The quality of Zig or Kuretake are very, very good. One of my favorite brands of brush pens to use. The nib, the side for the brush, is very, very, you could feel the quality. But just like any felt nib, it'll get worn down. But I definitely recommend these. As you notice, you may say, oh, you recommend so many brush pens, you recommend this. This is what works for me. You can maybe pick up a couple and see if they will work for you and for the type of work that you do. So this is the brush, oh, whoa. This is the brush side. And now let's go to the scroll side. So if you're not familiar with the term scroll, you see how it has a little indentation right in the middle. That is how the lettering will turn out when you use that side. So I have this in another color. I'm not going to go through every single color I have. This is a Zig scroll and brush pen. I got this one from johnneilbookseller.com. It was a blind buy. I never used it before, and it was definitely worth it. Right here, I got another Prismacolor brush pen, Prismacolor Scholar. I had randomly found these one day in Target, and they were on clearance, which makes it even better. And they are very, very good. Actually, I like this Prismacolor brush pen better than this one. As you can see, the bodies are very, very different, and as you watched earlier, the nibs are very different. Yeah, so these are the two differences. Okay, what is the next one I have?